Let us continue with our lesson and let's get started with our edit task view model. So let me close all of this, which we don't need it for now, and let me close this one too. And okay, so let me open the view model, and we have previously added all of this, and let me create one function of edit task, and we need to get the okay, so first of all, what we need over here in the edit task is we need to get the, if you go to the repository, so we should go to the repository of our edit task, and we need to pass the token as well as the edit task request. So if you go to the view model, first of all, what I will do over here is let me, okay, so never mind, just create a method for now, and we need to pass for the repository. If you see, we need to pass the network service. So how we can create a network service is, I think we just take from our previous view model. This should be, I think, tax. No, we don't have in the tax and tax view model. Yeah, so let's create the, copy this section, and just copy and just paste it over here. Just paste it. So we have a network service over here, and what we need some more is the share preference as well as the app preference. So just copy these two sections also, and also we need a token. So for that, let me just copy this site and just paste it below this section. Okay, so we have that one, and any other thing that we need. Okay, so we don't need it, and we will copy this function. So instead of writing, we just copy this section, and over here let me paste that one. Okay, so we have a, we don't need an add tax repository, we need an edit tax repository. So it should be of a edit tax repository, sorry, edit tax repository. Okay, so let's clear it out, and over here let me create a private let init var of a edit tax repository. Where is that one? Here. So edit tax repository, and why is that edit tax repository found at tax? So edit tax, okay, so it should be edit tax repository. Okay, so we have edit tax repository now, and share preference, we are getting a share preference, and we have an app preference, and we get the token from our app preference, and we don't need the user ID because we will pass, we already have the user ID somewhere here. Why we don't have user ID? I think we should have a user ID that we are passing from the tax detail. The tax detail fragment, I think we have a user ID. So yeah, we have a user ID, so we can pass this user ID, so we don't have to get it from there, or else we can also get directly from the from our set preference. So if we want to get it, we can just copy this section, right? We can just copy this section and paste it below this token, and we will just get the user ID from the app preference. Okay, so we have the user ID over here, and that should be fine. So we have a view, we have set up everything, and the next step is to here, and this live data, we should get the value over here. So I think this is the error. Okay, we don't need this one, so let us remove this one, and let's go and set a val data is equals to, we can say edit tax repository dot edit the tax, and we need to pass the toke and token, and we need to pass the edit tax request. So we say edit tax request, and here we can create our id. So id is the user id dot value, right? So user id dot value and dot to int. So we need to pass the integer over here, and next is we need to pass the title, right? It should be of, if you go to the edit tax request, we need the integer id. Sorry, is the post id, not the user id. So user id is in the second. So first of all, we need to pass the id. So that should be of the id is over here. So id, so it should be id dot value dot to int. So we need the integer, and this should be of not checked, and this is should be to string. So it should be of a to string. So user id dot value dot to string. So we need to pass to string over here, and that should be fine. So what is that one? Required int found. Okay, to int, and we can just say as a not check, or id that not now. Okay, so that should fix it. And next is we need to pass the title. So title is title dot value. So value dot, we need to pass it to a string. So we have a to string, and we have to pass the body. So body dot value and dot to string, right? So to string we need to pass it, and finally we need to pass the status. So this is the status that we want to pass, and sta status dot value dot to string. So we set up our edit request over here, and finally now we can emit the value of the data type. So when that's finished, we should return or emit the value. So that's all done by the Kotlin coroutine. So that should be all we have to do with our edit task. So our function is ready, and we will go and make use of this function in our fragment, which is our edit task fragment. So let's meet up in the next lecture, and let's get started with our fragment section over here. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, have a great day.